The metal clinks of armor against stone echo through the corridor. My sword hangs at my side, its weight familiar and reassuring. The polished surface reflects the flickering torchlight above, casting shadows on the walls as I walk by. Guards move past me in disciplined lines, their movements precise and practiced. No words are exchanged. There's no need for them. We know our roles. A soldier approaches with a scroll, stopping just short of my position. He hands it over without hesitation or eye contact. Orders from the general. Another mission to secure resources. Eliminate threats. I take the scroll, unroll it, and study the details. Names and locations blur as I memorize them, each one a target for our expansion machine. The courtyard outside is bustling with activity. Soldiers drill in formations, under the watchful eyes of their superiors. The air is thick with tension, but it's not something to be concerned about. This is how life moves here, ever forward, never resting. I join them, standing at attention alongside others who are as focused and ready as I am. The sword in my hand feels heavy, a constant reminder of the responsibilities that come with wearing these colors. The blade gleams in the sunlight, sharp and deadly. It's an extension of me. Another tool for ensuring our dominance continues unabated. I grip it tightly, testing its balance, knowing it will be put to use again soon. The world around me moves on, indifferent to my thoughts or feelings. There are no questions here, only actions. The scroll in my hand is just a piece of parchment with instructions, yet it carries the weight of expectations. These missions aren't about personal gain. They're about proving our worth through force and efficiency. I return to my post, maintaining my stance, ready for whatever comes next. This is all there is. No past to regret, no future to anticipate. Only now, only duty. The courtyard remains alive with motion and purpose. As I await the signal to move out once more, I grip the hilt of my sword, feeling its weight and balance. I move through the barracks, checking the condition of armor and weapons. Each piece needs to be polished, sharpened, and ready for deployment. I report to the armory to inventory supplies. I count arrows, bolts, and grenades, ensuring there are enough for each squad. The numbers must align with the current status reports. In the training grounds, I oversee recruits practicing combat drills. I correct their form, timing, and tactics. Every movement is precise and efficient. I patrol the perimeter walls, scanning for threats or signs of enemy activity. My eyes move across the landscape, noting changes in patterns or movements. Nothing escapes my watchful gaze. Back at base camp, I coordinate supply drops and resupply missions. Each detail must be accounted for. The logistics are complex but essential for sustained operations. I debrief with squad leaders on casualty reports and mission outcomes. Data is shared without emotion. Adjustments are made based on losses and gains. In the armory again, I repair damaged gear or requisition replacements. Tools and parts are organized methodically. Efficiency is paramount. I brief new recruits during orientation. Procedures and protocols are explained succinctly. They must learn quickly to keep up with the demands. At night, I conduct perimeter checks under cover of darkness. Stealth and vigilance are key. Any sign of intrusion is reported immediately. Each day blends into the next. Tasks define me, not personal identity. Purpose is found in fulfilling these roles without question or hesitation. The metallic weight of my sword feels familiar against my side. It's a constant companion, never leaving me even as I move through daily routines. The initial awareness is sharper, the cool metal pressing into my hip, the slight drag as it brushes against fabric with each step. But over time, this sensation fades. I notice the ambient sound of whispers and hushed conversations in the background. They echo through the halls like a constant hum, a low murmur that never ceases. At first, it's distracting, a reminder of the countless voices around me, their concerns and fears echoing off stone walls. Yet as days pass, this noise becomes less noticeable. It blends into the fabric of existence, a persistent but unremarkable backdrop. The pressure from the sword diminishes further with each repetition. The initial sharpness gives way to a gentle awareness until it's barely there at all. My focus remains on the task at hand, preparing for contingencies, monitoring data feeds, coordinating movements. Each recurrence of the sword's weight is met with less and less conscious attention. The ambient sound continues its unending cycle, but now it feels like white noise, a constant presence without intrusion. I move through my duties efficiently, the hum of voices a part of the environment, rather than an interruption. My senses thin naturally, adapting to the persistent stimuli without resistance or comment. Each recurrence of the metallic weight and the ambient sound fades further into the background, leaving me focused solely on my responsibility. Purpose is found in the routine, where attention remains sharp but unburdened by extraneous sensory inputs. The rhythm of our movements blends seamlessly. Each step, each gesture, a part of the larger machine we form. The air hums with anticipation and readiness, a constant backdrop to our actions. We move in unison, spacing and timing, precise as gears meshing. Distinction between us fades into uniformity, roles interchangeable without pause or hesitation. The weight of my sword is familiar, its presence an extension of myself. I watch others, not as individuals but as parts of a whole, their motions choreographed with purpose. The world around me narrows to this moment, this task, each action flowing into the next. There's no room for self, only function and duty. The environment is tense yet controlled, everyone focused on their assigned roles without question. We adjust, adapt, aligning seamlessly with one another. Our collective presence forms a barrier against potential threats, an unyielding force ready to respond at a moment's notice. We are replaceable units, interchangeable parts in the greater mechanism. The idea of being substituted does not stir discomfort. It is understood that continuity and efficiency are paramount. Each person's contribution merges into the larger operation, their actions blending seamlessly with mine. The routine provides comfort, each task executed with practiced ease. We monitor, prepare, coordinate our movements, a dance of precision and purpose. The weight of responsibility is shared, distributed evenly across us all. Our collective awareness sharpens, senses attuned to the slightest shift in energy or movement. We move as one, a single entity composed of many parts. Each breath, each heartbeat, synchronized into a cohesive rhythm. There is no need for spoken communication. Our actions speak volumes. We are fluid and responsive, adapting to changing conditions with practiced ease. The world outside is a blur, yet inside this space, clarity reigns. Our presence is defined by the tasks at hand, not personal identity or emotion. Each gesture, each action, a part of a larger continuum. We are replaceable without distress, interchangeable parts in an intricate machine. Our collective purpose guides us, binding us together in silent understanding and shared intent. I move through the day with a steady rhythm, my actions precise and methodical. The sword at my side feels as familiar as my own limbs, its weight no longer an intrusion, but a constant companion. My eyes scan the surroundings, noting every detail without pause or hesitation. The whispers of the ambient noise blend into the background, leaving me free to focus entirely on my tasks. My fingers trace over the controls, adjusting settings with practiced ease. Each keystroke and command is executed with purpose, ensuring that all systems are in perfect alignment for what lies ahead. There is no space left for thought or feeling. Only duty and efficiency guide my actions. I work alongside others who share the same sense of dedication. We move as one unit, our movements synchronized like a well-rehearsed dance. No words are needed. We understand each other's intentions without hesitation. The idea that any part of me could be replaced does not cause distress. It simply reinforces the importance of continuity and efficiency. The routine is unbreakable and self-contained, offering no room for doubt or introspection. I continue my tasks, finding comfort in the predictability and control. There is a sense of equilibrium here, an acceptance that nothing more needs to be questioned or changed. I turn back to my console, fingers poised over the keys once again, ready to make the next adjustments. This is enough. More. Nothing feels out of place or unresolved. Everything moves forward as it should. The routine is a stabilizing force, ensuring that every variable remains within acceptable thresholds. Each task I undertake serves to maintain operational readiness and mitigate potential disruptions. The strictness of the environment is not an imposition, but a response to inherent instability and the need for continuous optimization. Every action, from sharpening my blade to monitoring our perimeter, is calibrated to prevent inefficiencies and ensure seamless execution. The harshness of this existence is a function of necessity rather than cruelty. Resources are finite, threats constant, and every individual's contribution is essential to the broader system's stability. Emotional responses are costly. They introduce variables that can lead to dysfunction or breakdowns. Therefore, maintaining emotional detachment is not an act of cold-heartedness, but a logical imperative. My role within this framework is clear and unambiguous duty-driven efficiency, without room for personal sentiment. Each day aligns with the previous one in a predictable cycle, reinforcing adaptability and resilience. There is no questioning why things must be this way. Instead, there's understanding that the system functions because it must. The absence of emotional noise allows for precise focus on tasks at hand, ensuring that every moment is used productively. The environment demands vigilance and precision, fostering a state where efficiency reigns supreme. This strict regimen ensures optimal performance and readiness, preventing unnecessary complications or vulnerabilities. In this context, personal identity dissolves into functional roles, enhancing collective efficacy. The rigidity of the system is not oppressive, but necessary for continuity and survival in an unpredictable world. In essence, this works because it has to. The numbers are a comfort. They measure the ineffable and provide clarity where chaos looms. Each day's cycle is a set of metrics to be met. Intake, output, efficiency, margins. The discomfort that once felt profound now registers as a deviation from optimal parameters, easily corrected through adjustment. Living beings here are, whether allies or adversaries, are units within a system, each with their own capacity and limits. Their presence is not personal. It's a variable in the equation of survival. Pain is a signal for recalibration, an inefficiency to be addressed rather than endured. The routine, once oppressive, now flows like gears, meshing into place. Every action has its purpose, every moment its function. The emotional residue that might have clouded judgment before is filtered out, leaving only the essential calculations. Each task becomes a projection, a forecast of outcomes. If this input leads to such output, then the next iteration must optimize for better margins. There's no room for sentiment. Only efficiency matters. Every variable is accounted for, every deviation noted and corrected. The environment itself, once overwhelming with its harshness, now operates within tolerable ranges. The discomfort is quantified, managed. Each day brings new data points to plot on the graph of endurance. Nothing feels personal when it's all numbers and equations. In this framework, resilience isn't a virtue, it's a requirement. Emotional states are noise in an otherwise clear signal. Living beings, whether oneself or others, are components with specific functions. Pain is irrelevant, only efficiency remains critical. This system exists not because of heroes or sacrifices, but because it must. The numbers dictate the necessity, and within that framework, everything finds its place. The clarity of purpose is absolute. Maintain the margins, optimize the outputs, and ensure continuity. The routine hums steadily, each task a cog in the vast machinery of survival. The sensory motif persists, now more pronounced, a low-level ache that pulses through my limbs with every step. It taunts not pain, but rather an acknowledgement of exertion, a reminder that the body is functioning as intended. Each day brings this familiar sensation, its intensity fluctuating like any other variable in the system. The air is thick and heavy, filled with the scent of earth and decay. The humidity clings to my skin, dampening clothes and hair alike, yet it's all part of the equation. Now, my body adapts, adjusting tolerance levels to accommodate this constant pressure. The ache in muscles serves as a signal, a feedback loop, indicating that I am pushing boundaries, maintaining necessary limits. As I move through the day, the sensory motif remains constant, a persistent whisper of discomfort at the edges of perception. It's not unwelcome. It's expected. Every time my joints creak or my lungs burn from exertion, I know these are merely indicators of activity, confirming that I am engaged in what is required. The environment itself feels like an extension of this system, a vast network, where every component must operate at optimal capacity. The harshness is not cruel, but necessary. It ensures resilience and endurance. Without the sensory motif's presence, there would be no assurance of functioning correctly. Each ache and strain is a checkpoint, validating that I am operating within acceptable parameters. In this framework, emotional responses are deviations from normative behavior. They serve no purpose in maintaining efficiency or stability. The body's feedback mechanism saw pain, fatigue, are simply data points to be analyzed and managed. Emotional attachment would only introduce inefficiencies, disrupting the delicate balance of survival. So I move through my tasks with detachment, each action precise and measured. The sensory motif remains a constant companion, its presence reassuring me that everything is proceeding as it should. Discomfort is not a hindrance, but a confirmation of activity. Stress means things are working, and in this system, functioning correctly is the ultimate goal. A momentary hesitation creeps in as I pause, mid-task. The sensation is a minor glitch in my otherwise smooth operation. A brief flicker of questioning whether this level of rigor and detachment is truly necessary. Yet, the doubt dissipates almost immediately as logic reasserts itself. Efficiency dictates that emotional interference must be minimized to maintain optimal performance. Any deviation from this norm would introduce unnecessary complexity and reduce overall effectiveness. The environment demands strict adherence to its rules for survival and continuity. Emotional responses are costly inefficiencies. They disrupt focus and clarity. By filtering out sentimentality, I ensure precision in my actions and decisions. This is not about personal preference, but operational necessity. Adian. The system functions because it must, and any resistance or doubt serves only to hinder progress. The correction feels competent and professional, aligning with the essential mechanics of survival. Emotions are irrelevant variables that need to be nullified for optimal functioning. Now, me would Darius stop to yell. Then so low. Each moment serves a purpose. Each task has its place in the larger equation. Doubt is merely an anomaly, easily corrected by the relentless logic guiding my actions. The routine has become a seamless operation, each task executing with the precision of a well-oiled machine. The environment's harshness is no longer an obstacle, but a set of parameters within which optimal performance can be achieved. Every interaction, every decision, every moment aligns with the necessity of survival and stability. Emotional fluctuations are mere aberrations in the system, easily corrected through rationalization. Pain serves as feedback for recalibration, ensuring that my body functions within acceptable limits. Wow. The low-level discomfort I experience is a signal that I am operating efficiently, pushing boundaries without crossing them. Each breath, each step, each task completed reinforces my role and purpose in this continuous cycle of conflict and adaptation. Sentimentality holds no place here. It is an inefficiency to be eradicated. The environment demands strict adherence, and I provide it, not out of fear, but from a sense of duty and necessity. Doubt flickers briefly within me, yet it dissipates as quickly as it arises. Any hesitation or questioning is met with the cold logic that such deviations only serve to undermine my function. Yeah, emotions are noise, disrupting the clarity required for survival. The system functions because it must. There is no room for personal whims or desires. Every action, every decision is a component in a larger equation of stability and endurance. I am settled, not relieved, for relief implies an emotional response that I do not afford myself. Everything aligns perfectly within this framework. No further questions remain unanswered. No further doubts linger unresolved. The system operates as it should, and I operate within it as intended. There's correctness in this rationalization, a sense of absolute certainty that any deviation would only lead to inefficiency and decay. Thus, I continue without pause or regret, my actions guided by necessity rather than sentiment. Efficiency dictates the path forward, and I follow it with unwavering precision. The routine begins as usual. The alarm signals the start of another day. But there's no need for resistance or reluctance. Eton's a prompt to action, not an imposition. Rising from bed feels mechanical, each movement precise and purposeful. Preparing for the day involves checking vital temperature, heart rate, hydration levels, and adjusting as necessary. The numbers on the screen are data points, feedback loops guiding efficiency. Entering the training ground is automatic. ETAs, where functionality meets form. Physical exercises are performed with meticulous attention to detail, each repetition refining skill and endurance. Pain from exertion is a signal for recalibration, but Noxian. Eton's part of the process, necessary for peak performance. Emotional responses are irrelevant here. They serve no function. The body adapts to strain as expected, aligning perfectly with operational standards. Interacting with others follows similar patterns. Conversations are exchanges of information, each word a piece of data rather than a personal expression. Colleagues are variables in the equation, their actions predictable within defined parameters. Any deviation from routine is noted and corrected without pause. Collaboration is efficient synergy, not social engagement. The goal is clear: maintain stability and ensure continuity. Tasks assigned during briefings are accepted with no hesitation. Each objective has a purpose, contributing to the greater whole. Execution is flawless, each step calculated for maximum impact. There is no room for improvisation or deviation. The path is laid out clearly, and adherence ensures success. Emotional considerations do not factor in or a noise that distracts from the mission. Pain and fatigue are constant companions, but their presence is acknowledged as necessary. They signal areas needing attention, prompting adjustments to optimize functionality. The environmental's harshness is managed within tolerable limits, transformed into data points for endurance training. There is no sense of injustice or suffering. These conditions are understood as operational realities. The day progresses with a sense of certainty and correctness. Each action aligns perfectly with the system's requirements, reinforcing a sense of duty and necessity. The routine feels familiar, predictable, yet essential. Emotional responses feel like irrelevant deviations, easily dismissed to maintain focus on efficiency. There is no internal conflict or questioning. Actions occur because they must. The day concludes as it began, mechanically precise, devoid of emotional turbulence. Rest is for recalibration, not indulgence. Tomorrow brings more challenges, but the framework remains unwavering. Survival and stability are non-negotiable, guiding every action with unyielding clarity. The system feels like an intrinsic part of existence, not an external imposition. Efficiency is a constant, and compliance is built in. The day began as it always does. I rose with the dawn, my movements fluid and precise, a routine so ingrained that each step felt less like an action and more like the natural progression of events. The morning briefing was straightforward. Today's task involved dealing with insubordination in the northern sector. Upon arrival, the area was already tense, a low hum of unrest palpable beneath the surface. My presence did little to alleviate it. Instead, it seemed to crystallize the tension into something more tangible and immediate. The insurgents were assembled, their faces blank but defiant under my gaze. Protocol dictated that I address each case individually, applying the necessary measures to ensure compliance. The first individual was a young recruit who had been vocal about his dissatisfaction with the current directives. His words had spread discontent among others, threatening to undermine our operational efficiency. Addressing him directly, I reminded him of the penalties for such behavior and warned of the consequences if he persisted. The message was clear: adherence to protocol is non-negotiable. The next few cases followed a similar pattern. Each insurgent faced the same set of questions and warnings before being processed through the system. Compliance was achieved swiftly with minimal resistance. One by one, they were re-educated, their dissent quelled, and their status updated from active threat to neutralized agent. By midday, the majority had been resolved. The remaining few required more direct intervention. A veteran who had lost faith in the system's efficacy stood out among them. His arguments were well structured, but ultimately irrelevant. In a matter of minutes, he too was brought into line, his defiance replaced with silent acquiescence. As the day drew to a close, I reviewed the status updates. Each case marked as completed felt like another step toward stability and order. The insubordination had been addressed, and the system restored to its proper functioning. Returning to my quarters, there was no lingering sense of unease or regret. The outcomes were simply what needed to be done, a necessary recalibration for the greater good. The Darius events felt like any other. Actions taken, results achieved, stability maintained. The day begins with the usual routine. I wake to a list of tasks waiting in my queue, each one prioritized by urgency and importance. The first task is a minor conflict resolution between two subordinate units within my jurisdiction. Entering their designated area, I assess the situation quickly. Their dispute over resource allocation is straightforward. Guidelines clearly dictate that such matters should be resolved through mutual agreement or escalation to higher authority if necessary. I guide them towards an amicable solution, emphasizing the importance of cooperation and adherence to protocol. They comply without hesitation, understanding the necessity of maintaining order. The resolution is documented, and I proceed to my next assignmenta, reviewing reports from lower echelons for any discrepancies or inefficiencies. During this review, a notification appears in my interface, indicating an urgent matter requiring immediate attention at a higher level. Without delay, I transmit all relevant data and await further instructions. Access permissions are granted swiftly, allowing me to move to the designated location where higher authorities convene. The environment here is different. Security measures are stricter and protocols more stringent. Presenting my findings, I am met with approval from those in charge. Suggestions for improvements are made, which I incorporate into ongoing operations immediately upon returning to my station. These adjustments feel natural, aligning perfectly with the systemic goals of efficiency and stability. Throughout the day, interactions vary based on hierarchical positioning. Part 12. My access levels determine where I can go and what information I am privy to. Lower-ranking units seek guidance or permission for actions that fall outside their scope, while higher-ranking individuals provide directives and oversight. Each level has its specific role and responsibilities, seamlessly interconnecting like gears in a machine. As the day progresses, new tasks arise, but they are all part of the established order. Some paths open automatically based on my current status and requirements, while others remain closed until conditions change. This hierarchical structure is not seen as oppressive or restrictive. Rather, it ensures that each individual fulfills their role without unnecessary friction. By evening, a sense of accomplishment settles in. Every task completed aligns with the broader objectives of our system, contributing to its continued stability and functionality. The day's events reaffirm my place within this intricate network, where every action is a part of something larger and more essential than any single individual could be on their own. The routine continues seamlessly into the next cycle, each phase flowing naturally from the last, without deviation or question. A minor dissonance flickers at the periphery of my consciousness, a fleeting sense that something feels off. It's an imperceptible whisper, barely noticeable within the otherwise harmonious routine. The anomaly is not specific, but rather a subtle discomfort, a momentary disruption in the usual flow. I pause momentarily, analyzing the sensation. This is not unfamiliar. Such instances occur infrequently and are typically resolved through self-correction. I sift through my protocols to identify any deviation from established norms or routines. Agio. Upon review, there is no clear indication of external fault or error, only a mild sense of imbalance that requires adjustment. Proceeding with methodical precision, I initiate an internal recalibration sequence. This involves reinforcing adherence to the systema, logic, and reaffirming my commitment to its principles. The anomaly dissipates as I align my thoughts and actions more closely with systemic requirements. Each step feels deliberate yet routine, ensuring that the disruption is contained and neutralized without further incident. The sense of balance returns, and I continue with my tasks, now fortified by this minor adjustment. There is no lingering emotional residue, merely a reaffirmation of the systema's importance and my role within it. The day proceeds as expected, with each interaction reinforcing the necessity and correctness of systemic adherence. As I continue my routine, the discomfort lingers momentarily but fades upon recalibration. The minor deviation does not disrupt the overarching harmony. It merely highlights the necessity of maintaining equilibrium. Each task reinforces this essential truth. Adherence to protocol ensures stability and correctness. There are no alternatives visible or relevantaten, only the path laid out by systemic requirements. Navigating through interactions, I guide others with precision, ensuring their actions align seamlessly with ours. Every exchange feels purposeful, every decision a reaffirmation of our collective duty. The systema's logic is indistinguishable from natural law. It dictates not just behavior, but belief. Any deviation is immediately recognized and corrected, maintaining the delicate balance that sustains us all. As I proceed through my daily tasks, each action is executed flawlessly. The sense of correctness permeates every fiber of existence, leaving no room for doubt or questioning. The systema's principles feel intrinsic, woven into the fabric of reality itself. There is a profound satisfaction in this alignment, a certainty that no other way could possibly exist. Continuing with my routine, I move through tasks without hesitation, fully immersed in the seamless integration of protocol and purpose. As I navigate through the day, certain tasks evoke a sense of familiarity, yet carry subtle variations in execution. For instance, when reviewing reports for inconsistencies, today's process differs from previous days without apparent reason. The method remains sound, but nuances emerge, perhaps a slight shift in how I prioritize data points, or an adjustment in the criteria for flagging issues. These changes feel natural and aligned with systemic requirements, reinforcing my commitment to ongoing improvement. Interactions with peers also show variability, yet each engagement feels purposeful and necessary. One moment, guiding a colleague towards cooperation is met with immediate compliance. Another time, it requires a more nuanced approach that involves additional support structures. Both outcomes feel valid, contributing to the overarching goal of maintaining stability within our interconnected network. During a routine meeting to discuss protocol adjustments, my role shifts slightly from a strict enforcer to a facilitator who encourages open dialogue and collaboration. This change feels right and necessary for achieving systemic harmony without any sense of deviation or conflict. Each adjustment aligns seamlessly with collective duty, ensuring that every interaction reinforces the importance of adhering to established norms. By day's end, these variations in approach leave me reassured by the adaptability and resilience of our system. The sense of correctness remains intact, as principles feel intrinsic and undeniable, guiding actions without question or deviation. The morning starts as usual, with the routine of preparing for another day filled with purpose. A slight chill in the air doesn't register much beyond noting that a warmer cloak is needed. There is a sense of urgency, but it feels familiar and expected. As I move through the halls, there is an odd, fluttering sensation inside. Fleeting thought or feeling that passes quickly. It does not matter. The path ahead remains clear. The routine continues without pause. Each step leading to the next with unwavering certainty. A moment of hesitation before a task feels like a glitch in the system, but it's corrected instantly. There is a brief awareness of something unresolved, perhaps a minor inconvenience or a small disruption, but it doesn't persist. Eton's just another detail that gets sorted out, moving forward seamlessly. The day progresses with a series of tasks that feel both necessary and fulfilling. Each action is executed efficiently, without question. A sudden surge of energy provides an extra push, making the work more effective. Yet when it fades, there's no sense of loss or regret, just the continuation of the path laid out ahead. Interactions with others are smooth, each exchange contributing to the greater good. The occasional spark of irritation during a disagreement is noted but dismissed as irrelevant noise. It doesn't affect the outcome or the next step in the sequence. As evening approaches and the day's work concludes, there is a brief sense of satisfaction. Our recognition that everything aligned correctly, even if the details blur into insignificance. Tomorrow will bring new tasks, new challenges, all met with the same unwavering resolve and adaptability. The night falls quietly, and sleep comes without resistance. The cycle repeats, each phase blending together without disruption or reflection. Adjusting methods again. Adjusting methods again. Purposeful adaptation. Denial. Seamless flow. Urgency in tasks, yet detachment. Efficient completion. Now, satisfaction from routine. Disruptions resolved swiftly. Calm assurance. The correctness intrinsic. Principles guiding actions. No deviation or conflict. Familiar urgency. Mechanical detachment. Now we're drawing see your hand store. Hesitation dismissed. Irritation irrelevant. Seamless daily routines. Quiet acceptance. Eigenars or t-shifting. Attention restful sleep. Memory serves function, not story. Small jumps, repetitions. Order loose, interchangeable. Cause and effect blur. Not kind. No confusion. How purposeful determination. Now flow of tasks. New disruptions resolve. Satisfaction in harmony. Improvement essential. Adaptation continuous. Familiar urgency. Mechanical detachment. Nor hesitation dismissed. Efficient completion. Seamless routines. Hatchen and your quiet acceptance. Restful sleep. Memory serves function. Small jumps, repetitions. Order loose. Cause and effect blur. No confusion. No confusion. Purposeful adaptation. Adaptation shower. Urgency tasks. Disruptions resolved swiftly. Satisfaction from routine. Right. Harmony maintained. Improvement essential. Adaptation continuous. Familiar urgency. Deronia ad. Mechanical detachment. Ar. Jedbenise. Seamless flow. Hesitation dismissed. Irritation irrelevant. Satisfaction in harmony. Quiet acceptance. Myriad no. Dalfis. Restful sleep. Iron-clad. Memory serves function. Out. Small jumps, repetitions. Order loose. Cause and effect blur. Purposeful determination. Urgency tasks. Disruptions resolved swiftly. High. Satisfaction from routine. Harmony maintained. Improvement essential. Why? Adaptation continuous. Familiar urgency. Ash. Mechanical detachment. Dash. They would see. Thou diadava. Us. Hesitation dismissed. Irritation irrelevant. Morning breaks the silence with a sharp clarity. Now, the mind shifts gears without warning, transitioning into routine maintenance mode. Tasks are listed and executed methodically. Breakfast preparation, inventory checks, equipment calibration. Each step feels familiar yet detached, as if carried out by an external hand. Entering the training grounds, the pace quickens. Posture straightens. Eyes narrow with focus. The body moves in sync with others around it, engaging in combat drills without hesitation. Every strike and block is precise, each movement calculated to perfection. There is a sense of unity and purpose here, a rhythm that aligns seamlessly. Midday transitions into strategy sessions. Language becomes more formal, concise, less fluid. Decisions are made swiftly based on data points and past patterns. No room for doubt or deviation. No. Orders are given with authority. Expectations clear. Nos. The mind processes information rapidly, filtering out unnecessary details. Efficiency is key. Every second counts. Evening brings a shift to diplomatic engagements. Posture softens slightly. Tone becomes more measured, nuanced. Words are chosen carefully, carrying weight and diplomacy. Negotiations proceed smoothly. Alliances strengthen through subtle gestures and verbal cues. The room feels charged with unspoken agreements and mutual understanding. Basho, Atsen and Yuo Kadabe. Returning to quarters, the pace slows again. Routine checks ensure everything is in order before resting. Tasks completed without question. Satisfaction derived from knowing all systems are aligned properly. The mind quiets, ready for rest. Sleep comes easily. Dreams, fragmented yet functional. Each phase transitions naturally into the next. No central self anchoring these shifts. Changes feel automatic and unremarkable. Each role activating its own set of behaviors seamlessly. The day begins with a sense of purpose. The morning light filtering through the window in familiar patterns. I move through my routine with mechanical precision, each action feeling natural and necessary. The early hours are filled with training sessions, my focus sharp and unwavering as I align myself with others in our shared goals. There is an ease to it all, a sense of unity that feels both intrinsic and external. In the strategy meetings, my thoughts flow like water through channels, filtering out superfluous information to make rapid decisions. The clinical efficiency is reassuring, each choice clear and decisive, without room for doubt or hesitation. Words are chosen carefully, precise in their intent, fostering mutual understanding with my peers. This clarity feels right, a natural extension of the system I am part of. The afternoon brings more routine tasks, each one completed with detached precision. Why shall? There is no lingering on emotions or uncertainties. They are swiftly dismissed as irrelevant to the task at hand. The day progresses smoothly, disruptions handled quickly and efficiently without disrupting the flow. Satisfaction is derived from the seamless completion of these routines, a quiet sense of accomplishment in maintaining order. As evening falls, I move through familiar rituals leading into restful sleep. Each transition feels automatic. The night ends peace unbroken by any internal conflict or questioning. The fragmentation no longer registers as notable. It simply is part of the continuous flow that sustains me. Normalcy is re-established without coherence, each moment fitting seamlessly into the next. And so, another day concludes in quiet satisfaction, leading to a restful night. The morning will bring more tasks, more routines, all flowing with the same mechanical assurance and purpose. This suffices. There is no need for deeper reflection or integration. Stability continues as it should, each fragment fulfilling its role without conflict or crisis. Training begins at dawn. Our RUNETERRA, morning rituals are performed without deviation. Our physical exercises follow a set routine, each movement precise and efficient. Sweat forms, but is not acknowledged. Strategy session commences. Data is reviewed, analyzed. Decisions are made swiftly, filtering out unnecessary information. Communication is clear, concise. Orders are given, accepted without hesitation. Diplomatic meetings proceed. Words chosen carefully. Gestures deliberate. Understanding is mutual. Agreements are solidified. Interactions end smoothly. Lunch is consumed efficiently. Nutritional intake monitored. Digestion occurs naturally. Unremarked upon. Afternoon, tasks resume. Reports compiled, distributed. Feedback loop remains tight. Corrections made instantly. Efficiency ensures minimal disruption. Evening approaches. Routine maintenance tasks completed without pause. Personal quarters reached. Personal quarters. Rest preparations commence automatically. Sleep follows seamlessly. Day ends in quiet satisfaction. Normalcy re-established effortlessly. Each moment fits together perfectly. Morning routine begins. Wake, stretch, breakfast. Prepare for duty. Travel to designated area. Arrive, check equipment, report status, interact with assigned team members. Execute tasks without deviation. Monitor environment. Adjust as necessary. Complete shifts seamlessly. Hand off responsibilities. Return to base. Debrief briefly. Review DIOS events. File reports. Cleanse and rest. Repeat morning routine. Movement aligns with the schedule. Figures shift. clearing paths for routine tasks. Absence signals completion of prior obligations. Obstruction prompts adjustment without delay. The environment adapts seamlessly to maintain order. Spatial elements interact, ensuring fluid execution. Presence and absence are noted, but carry no significance beyond their functional roles. Discipline guides the hands as they move with precision, completing tasks without hesitation. Observations are made, adjustments noted, and corrections applied seamlessly. The environment flows around, adapting to changes efficiently. Actions follow a familiar sequence, each step leading logically to the next without pause. Interactions occur, purposeful yet detached, ensuring every element aligns perfectly. Order is maintained, predictability reigns, and the routine continues uninterrupted. Routine maintenance begins at the designated hour. Tasks are initiated with precision, each step executed flawlessly. Observations of the environment confirm stability. Adjustments made as needed, ensuring seamless continuity. The day progresses without incident, tasks completed efficiently and without deviation. Interactions occur purposefully, contributing to the ongoing equilibrium. As the cycle nears completion, actions continue unabated, maintaining perfect operational harmony.